What's a strongly held belief, opinion you recently did a complete 180 on?
I used to not like mashed potatoes, but it turns out my parents were just super fucking bad at making them.
I used to hate spiders. Even the smallest ones would give me the creeps. One day I was at a petting zoo with my kid. She was around for at the time. We went to see a snake and a spider, and while we were there, I ended up holding the spider in my hand. The spider guy asked me if I wanted to hold it. I think I didn't want to show my kid the fear, so I just went with it. It was a big fella. Something clicked in my brain. Something about that spider being so big I could actually feel its weight instead of just the tickly feeling of a normal spider. From that day my fear was cured. Spiders are just like ants or flies to me now.
I used to hate standardized tests and thought they were just a way for people to buy their way into better schools and were an inaccurate measure of true academic ability. Then I saw an article in defense of them that basically admitted that everything I thought was true, but every single other current metric is easier to buy with money and an even worse measure of academic performance. Learned that day that flawed tools are sometimes the only tool you have.
I used to be hardcore anti-napping, thinking it was a waste of time. Recently, after diving into the science of it, I've become a nap enthusiast. Turns out, a well-timed nap can be a game changer for productivity and mood. I'm an avid gardener and used to hate the idea of cut flowers. These days, I consider cut flowers as plants paying rent.
We had Miracle Whip in my house growing up. I thought it was just a brand of regular mayonnaise. I hated it. One day I had a sandwich with actual real mayonnaise on it. It was the best sandwich of my life up to that point. I looked into it and Miracle is some weird thing that's to mayonnaise what margarine is to butter. I hated beer until my late 20s, when I finally had something besides Bud Light or Coors.
Brussels sprouts. My dad always said he hated them growing up, so I assumed he was right and never ate them. Had some recently and they were delicious.
I'm not a project that needs to be constantly worked on. Growth is important, but sometimes you just gotta be.
That my PhD matters. I've been destroying myself over it while the institution I study at has completely failed to support me. I thought without the doctor I would be a failure. I realize now that I'd rather earn good money in a job I like and travel and live happy rather than keep making up for their failure.
I was terrified of snakes until I was in 10th grade, so not recently Mao. I graduated in 2018 until my biology teacher had to corn snakes and one of them was so sweet. Her name was Maisie and was just so cute. She would let us pet her. She'd curl up to me and fall asleep.
I thought W. Bush was as bad as it could get.
I don't with weed anymore. I got way too high.